What up, what up, what up, what up, what up?
What up, bro? You alright?
Yes, sir. This is the Heart and Hope Medicines podcast. This is episode 3.
Trace.
Shout out to episode 3 because we did it. We did it.
Mama, we made
That's how we feel.
it.
But let's get straight to it. We're gonna do this is gonna be addiction part 2. If you haven't heard part 1, then you need to go watch it.
Go watch it. Go listen to it.
Like, it's really good. It's really good. Really helpful. We being vulnerable. We being transparent. We not holding stuff back. You know, it ain't for the kids.
No kids.
Maybe the teenagers for sure, but no kids. You know, the teenagers, they kind of advanced already, so they need to know certain things. And we just gonna tell about stories involving addiction, whether there's stuff that affected us or stuff we did, you know, whatever like that. So we just gonna get straight to it. You wanna kick it off?
All right, yeah, that's cool with me. So, I want to tell this one. Like, the last time we did a podcast, I said some things I had to get some clearance for. So I went and got a little bit of clearance, and so as I told y'all a little bit about before, my parents were married before I was even born. So by the time my dad passed, so they was married for like 13, 14 years or something like that. So my parents was going through some little issues, and my dad actually had a sexual addiction. So my parents were separated. They, like I said, they was going through hard times. They were separated, and my mom gets a phone call, and it's from the police, and they like, your husband has been picked up on Woodward.
Make sure you talking to Mike so people can hear the good story. There you go.
Your husband was picked up on Woodward, so you got to come pick him up from the jail. So she goes, she picks him up, and she like, okay, what did he get picked up for? Had a streetwalker in his car. So that kind of fueled my parents not being together. My pops ended up moving to California. And he came back that Christmas. And my parents was, I guess they was trying to work it out. But my mom kept asking him, like, is everything cool? Mind you, I'm getting, this is all the information that I got from my mom. And just to go back a little bit before that, the reason why I asked my mom all of this stuff, because I was curious about my own life. Over the course of my life, I always felt sexual. Like, I always felt like that inkling, that yearning for sexual interaction. Maybe it stemmed from, in my mind, me dealing with that stuff as a kid, but as I got older, I'm like, nah, it's got to be something more to this. Why are so many homosexual males drawn to me? Like, it's something more than just that particular situation. So I just started doing my research. I started, asking my mom. I asked my auntie about the family. My aunt wasn't as forthcoming as my mom, but I recognize that, she didn't want to, throw dirt, for lack of a better terms, on my dad's name. So I asked my mom. She told me everything that went on. So the person that he was in the car with was a tranny, a transvestite. And that just, it cleared everything up for me. But to continue on with the story, my mom asked my dad, she said, I'm willing to work it out with you if you can stop doing what you're doing. Having sex with all of these men and women alike. But he said no. And that's the reason why he was gone when he was gone, is because he decided not to, end his addiction or get some type of help, seek some type of help for his addiction. Mind you, all the while he's prophet, evangelist, minister, all of these titles that when in the face of addiction, they really don't mean anything at all, because those titles don't cause you to look inward. Those titles don't cause you to, be honest with yourself. Those titles don't cause you to look to God for healing or change or whatever. So them addictions, they will cause you to, leave behind things that are supposed to be important in your life. Like my dad left behind 3 sons and a wife,
Mm-hmm.
all because he could not give up his addiction. So yeah, that's my story for today, man. But that's something that really affected me. Like as a kid, I love my dad with all my heart. I loved him. I called him every single day while he was gone. But as I got older, when you a kid, like I wasn't say I was a kid, but I was still a kid. I'm 12, 13 years old when all of this stuff is happening. And I love my dad with all my heart. Nothing he did was wrong in my eyes. Even
Mm-hmm.
to the point where him being gone, because I saw my mom as the aggressor when I would see them, argue or go back and forth, I labeled her as the wrong one. I'm like, nah,
Mm-hmm.
you the reason he gone. You the
Mm-hmm.
reason this our family is not the same no more. I to the point where I went to my dad. I told him I was like, I thought we was like the Cosbys, because the Cosbys had the perfect family, and I thought we was the perfect family. But coming to realize is that we weren't the perfect family, and he was the reason. He was a lot of the reason because he had an addiction that he could not get past. Addictions, let me tell you, because I'm a witness, they break up homes. So when you're struggling with all of this stuff and you like, man, I just love it so much. I just love it so much. You're not paying attention to what it's doing to the people
Yeah.
around you. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's deep, bro. That's very deep, bro. Because when you caught up in addiction, you so caught up in it, you not realizing the effect that it has on people, the effect that it has on your loved ones and stuff
yeah,
like that. That stuff can blind you. You know, that stuff literally tears up families. Literally tears up families. Um, that kind of, I'm just gonna flow. That kind of brought me to, I remember a lot of times when it came to smoking and stuff like that, I would I would come home high or whatever like that. I try to, put some stuff on
yeah.
or whatever like that, real quick, and I just go upstairs and just chill out,
Yeah.
be low key, whatever like that, until moms went to sleep, and then I wake up and get the, let me, if I ain't bring no food in, then I go sneak around, try to grab some food or whatever like that. But I remember this particular time, my mom had called me or whatever like that. As far as like, she was like, she came in the room, and I'm in the middle of eating a Wendy's burger. Like I'm smashing. Like it used to be. You go get something, you just sitting there, and it just tastes way better than what it actually is. You just sitting there like, so I'm sitting there smashing, right? Mom's walk in, she's like, I know I know you're high or something like that. And she's like, I'm gonna kick you out. She's saying threats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't care. Like, I'm literally like, whatever. Like, I'm not, my attitude is whatever. I ain't say whatever, but I'm literally like, I don't care.
And you probably ain't
I'm
got nowhere to go either.
nowhere to go, no money for real. But I'm sitting here like, this burger's so good. I ain't worried about none of you saying. It was like I was trying to still stay high. And I was like, no, I ain't gonna focus on what you just said to me or whatever like that.
Yeah.
And my mom said what she said. But that just kinda made me think how I wasn't really worried about what I was doing,
Yeah.
how I was affecting my mom. I was only worried about what I'm doing right now, chilling or whatever like that. And it just kind of reminded me of, like, that story kind of remind me of how your parents and loved ones, like, you should stop doing this, because they can see it beginning to take a toll, beginning to change you,
Yeah.
but you can't see it because you are in it. You can't really see. So you
Right.
need somebody from the outside
Whose
who loves
perspective is
you,
different. Yeah.
who is speaking out of love and trying to get you back to yourself. Because a lot of that stuff alter the way you move, the way you act, you fidget, all type of stuff. You
Man.
act totally different when you are under the influence. And some people depend on being under the influence. I was one of those people because I was insecure. So I thought if I'm high, then I'm cool. You feel me? If I'm high, then whatever. This just make me just a little liver. This make
Yeah.
I honestly thought I could only rap because I was high. Like we used to smoke and get, rap. Like, hey, put the beat on, whatever, like that. Homie used to do that. And I thought that was the only way that I could really rap.
Stuff, right?
Come out. I was like, oh, I think like this, like when I'm whatever, like that. And that's crazy. That's nothing but the trick of the enemy.
Man, facts. Like,
Nothing but the trick.
dude, I met this young cat at my job, and I was talking to him about his goals or whatever. Like, because now I have somebody, a male mentor in my life. Shout out to Pastor Al.
Shout out to Pastor Al.
I have a male mentor in my life. I do my darndest to get to people that's younger than me, to be some type of a mentor and influence to them. So I'm asking this guy what his goals are, like, and how he's going to achieve them. And he says, man, I want to own my own dispensary, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, so what are you doing to work towards that goal? And he's like, he says, man, I don't know. I be trying to think about it, but nothing really comes to me when I'm sober. So I said, so what do you do? He said, I smoke weed. And I'm like, so what does weed do for you? He like, man, weed make me think so deep, and it makes me think clearer. It calms me down or whatever. I'm like, bro, you do not need that stuff to help you think or help you be the person that you already are.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely a trick of the enemy to make you believe that you no longer have the ability when you're not high, or you're not who God created you to be because you're not high. It don't work like that.
Yeah.
It don't work like that.
That's definitely the trick of the enemy to get you to think, oh yeah, you so much people like you way better when you're high. You're so much cooler. Like, and then even I feel like talking to girls, I was more like confident when I was high or whatever like that, because I've just whatever like that. And that junk is nothing but a trick because you become dependent on it. And now you spending all this money and doing all this to try to be cool, to try to fit in, to try to get this and get that.
Yeah.
And that's nothing but the enemy.
Man, facts.
You got another story?
So let me think about this story. I tell you the effects of my two first years of high school. So I'm going through all of this stuff. Like I told y'all before, my pops died, my brother died, and I'm just smoking weed on a daily basis, like every single day, to the point where I'm like, man, forget school. I don't need to do nothing. I don't need to go to school. I don't need to do anything at all. So I start skipping school. I start doing everything that is not good for my life. As a result of that, report cards come out. Negro got a 0.9 GPA.
Jeez.
A 0.9 GPA. And I can say that's the thing that is the worst about weed. Like we were saying before, it just do not, or drugs in general, you do not care about.
Don't care.
You don't care about what's really going on in life. And even beyond that, I realized that to myself, like, I not only had like that weed addiction, but I was also addicted to attention. Like anything that I could do to get some attention. I wanted to hoop, because when you hoop, you become one of the most popular guys in the school. And then I remember when my brother first passed, and I told people about it. They was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." You get the females being all huggy and I said, "This is my opportunity. Let me squeeze, whatever. Make my little pass, make my little play." It get like that because it's like a whole bunch of addictions working together to get to one common goal, which is for me to create a soul tie with somebody else.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it had me not caring about anything at all. Like when I tell you my care, if I can create a word, carometer was at a zero. That's exactly what it was. Like my last whooping was because I can't even call it a whooping. It was really a beatdown. I was 15 years old, skipping school. Listen, before I even get there, it's so bad that my addiction to that weed was so bad is I'm the reason that my little brother ever smoked weed for the first time. He used to follow me everywhere. I used to be like, Mom, can you get him? Like, get away from me. Like, we mind you, we only 10 months apart. And he always used to tell me, like, you not my big brother, you not my big brother. But he followed me around like I was his big brother.
For sure.
And I'm walking with my homeboy, me and my homeboy and him is walking. We spark up. And he like, man, I want to try it. I want to try it. I don't know why I let him do it, but well, I do know why I let him do it because I didn't care.
Yeah.
I didn't care about nothing. So that could have potentially set him down the wrong path. But contrary to me, he made the decision that, that's not something that he really wanted to do because when he first hit it, he coughed his lungs out.
Said, what is this?
When I tell you that boy almost died walking down the street. Boy, we was on Ohio and Curtis, walking down Ohio and Curtis, and the boy almost coughed his lungs out. But he made a decision from that day, like, this ain't what I want to do. Smoking my lungs is not for me. So, but again, it's just, it puts you in a position where you don't care about anything at all. Like,
that's a fact.
Yeah, like, and I look at people, I look at all the weed smokers, and this is how you know it's an addiction. You make every excuse in the world to continue doing it.
For sure.
You be like, if somebody come up and tell you, oh, weed does X, Y, and Z to you, especially when you're of a certain age, mixed with your frontal lobe and all that, and inhibits your ability to remember stuff. You go up
Facts.
You go up to them and tell them that. They be like, nah, man, but it do this for me, that for me. And you make it seem like it's something that it's like a superpower for you.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's actually making you a worse off person than what you were before. I've seen people who, listen, it will make you, like, it changes you. Like, I know a bunch of people who before, they like 6'1", 210 pounds. Now they 6'1", 165 pounds. Like,
that's crazy.
You start to lose weight. Everything your body starts to change.
For sure.
Everything starts to be different. And you don't even pay attention to it because, like B said,
you in it.
Your perspective is different.
You're blinded.
Yeah, it's like you're drowning. You can't see the sharks around you. But the people that's in the airplane that's above you that's trying to lower that ladder, yo, it's a shark right there. But because you caught up in the waves and you drowning, you can't tell that it's a shark coming at you. And you're not listening to the people that's above you.
Mm-hmm.
So you just keep on doing what you do in the midst of the waves. You don't even care that you're drowning and you on the brink of death. You're just doing what you do because you feel like it's cool. But it's not.
One thing I'm realizing, when it comes to drugs and stuff like that, a lot of that stuff is selfish.
Absolutely.
Because you're only thinking about you. This gonna make me feel better. Yeah. But what is it going to do to this person? What effect is it going? You're not thinking of that. You're only thinking, if I need to hit this. I'ma feel good. I need to do this. I need to do that. So it made me think when you talked about how weed smokers made excuses. I was one of those. My excuse. I told my mom. I was straight up like, Ma, I need weed because I be having headaches. I promise you. I was like, Ma, I need weed because I be having headaches and stuff like that. She was like, you don't need no weed. I'm like, I promise you, man, I need that. I need that weed.
Just give me one more hit.
I like my head be hurting. My mom, she suffered from migraines and stuff like that. So she know about migraine stuff. I'm like, Ma, I be having bad, and I was having bad migraines. But I think I honestly think it's because of the weed, because I was addicted to weed so much that my head had become reliant on it or whatever like that, so it was like, cause I've been smoking since like 11th grade, like 10th, 11th grade, and it was every day. Like I was every day from I wanted from, and then when I got out of high school, it got worse. Like I was really like, oh yeah, I'm about to do this
Said
every day.
I'm 18 now. I'm doing what I want to
Man,
do.
what? I thought I was grown, and I would be like, Mom, my head hurt. That's why I be whatever like that. I remember she took me to the what you call the head doctor. I don't even know what the doctor, whatever. But she took me to the doctor, right? And then they was like, you be having headaches, whatever, like that. So I was like, yeah, man. So they gave me some like pills or something like that. And I take the pills, but the pills to give me a headache. So I was like, man, I'm not taking this. Like, I'm not taking no pills to give me. I'm trying to prevent myself from having a headache. These pills give me headache. But the whole reason why I was having a headache because I wasn't dealing with issues. I wasn't dealing with certain things, whatever like that. So I'm sitting here relying on something, whatever like that, because of course I'm gonna have headaches. You're not dealing with none of the issues. You're just using this weed to suppress, to numb you for that time period, whatever like that. And then you still got to deal with the crap that you didn't did. You still got to deal with the bed that you didn't lay. You still got to deal with it. It ain't go nowhere. It actually got worse, because more stuff got put on there, or you don't know what you did when you was high or whatever like that. I used to do the dumbest stuff. The dumbest stuff when I was high. The dumbest.
Like seriously though, like just to touch on some more, like you numbing yourself to the stuff that's really going on. That's the stimuli. Like that's this right there. That's what pushes a lot of people to turn to drugs, to turn to alcohol, to turn to sex, whatever, because you're trying to avoid having to deal with whatever it is that life has dropped in your lap. Like, but you're not even realizing like how much better you would be if you would just express your emotions, tell somebody how you feel, deal with the unforgiveness that you have in your heart.
Yes.
It will help you so much more. Like people think it's fake that when you walk around with unforgiveness in your heart that people get sick. No,
it manifests
people
naturally.
Die from that junk. People develop cancer as a result of unforgiveness and different things like that. But you so caught up in your stuff that you don't even take it into consideration. You're like, nah, I'm good, I'm straight. I don't need no help. I'm good. I continue to handle it however I'm handling it, and you handling it completely wrong. Like, there's no way that you'll ever be free from something when you just keep putting band-aid after band-aid after band-aid after band-aid. Can you imagine just a stack of band-aids just on the top of somebody's
looking
arm?
dumb,
looking stupid. Like literally, that's how a lot of them look. Like, well, I can say I was one of those people who just was looking stupid. Like, what kid do you know just get a 0.9 and they go okay with it? Like,
yeah, we used to talk about people like that.
Like, I probably could have been classified as mentally retarded. Excuse my French, because I don't have any other word to describe it. But I could have been classified as that because my grades were so bad. Of course, when I stopped, I went through a period where I tried to stop, like, and everything changed astronomically. Because it's not like I was a stupid kid or a dumb kid. I was extremely intelligent.
Just didn't apply yourself. That's my story.
But it's the stuff that I was going through that was like stopping me from actually being the person that I was supposed to be. Like, stopping me from being that intelligent kid, stopping me from being that kid who raised his hand first in class. Because I was one of those kids. I still am. I can be a know-it-all sometimes, and I've been that my whole life. But I got to the point where I didn't care what I did or didn't know.
Yeah.
All I did know was that I was hurt. And I needed some way to try to fix it.
Yeah.
And I was struggling because, like I keep saying, I lost a few people, and I was at home with a person who I felt like didn't love me. So what do? I cover. But it's crazy how, like, when you get older, because let me just say this: even when I got married the first time, my sexual addiction didn't go anywhere.
It's not gonna go nowhere.
Being 100% transparent, I didn't make it to marriage before I had sex with my first wife. I didn't make it there. We did it before we got married. My addiction was still there. So it wasn't until the point where I allowed God to uncover a lot of the things that had caused me to trip or stumble or fall leading up to that point. And the way that I know I allowed God to uncover it, because I had always been afraid to ask my mom about certain things that took place between her and my father. But I knew that I had gotten to a point where in God where I was like, okay, I got to do something. Something got to be different.
Yeah.
Something has to be different. And I gained the courage. The Holy Spirit granted me the boldness to
Yeah.
go and ask the questions that needed to be asked so the conversations that needed to be had could be had and that addiction could be cut off.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that I never tripped, I never stumbled, I never fall. But the path down the right road, I mean the I began on the path of righteousness, for lack of better terms.
Yeah.
I started down the right path.
Yeah. Cause I mean, even speaking on that, a lot of this stuff, we not the first people to deal with it. You think a lot of this stuff, I have addiction runs in my family.
Same.
Addiction runs in my family. Very, very heavy. So we're not the first people to deal with these certain things. It takes us, God like to take us back all the time. I promise you. You know, I had a little memory popped up on Snapchat and it was from 5 years ago. And the thing is, I do not remember myself from 5 years ago. Why? First of all, it feels like a lifetime ago because the new creation, the new creature God has made is totally different than the old one.
Yeah.
Yes, I still have certain issues. I may still have certain whatever. Not, that's a work in progress. You feel me? Like once you got to get your mind renewed. You become a new creature, but now you got to get that mind renewed because that still remembers some old stuff. That still holds some old stuff, some old thinking. Yeah. That's why I say renew your mind every day. You have to constantly renew your mind. Yeah. So with that, I see this 5-year-old memory, and it's of me, one of my songs playing, secular song, and I'm cussing. I'm like, I can't remember. I'm like, yeah, talk about some girl or whatever, because a lot of my music was about girls, about, dogging girls and stuff like that, because a lot of that's what I heard. That was the norm. That was the condition that was on me around where I was at. In the hood, that was just what you talked about or whatever like that. And me not being a leader, but being a follower, I went right along with it. Yeah. Saying certain things that I honestly didn't want to do this, like boosting, plain and simple. I'm not about to do this or whatever like that. Some stuff was actually real, which is bad. You feel me? So like some stuff I wasn't, whatever like that. Yeah. But I seen that memory and it was like God was just reminding me, you have to remember what you look like before so you can help people. You have to go back to go forward. Even like talking to my dad, me choosing to talk to my dad, it showed me different things. It allowed me to, okay, this is why you were like this. Yeah. I asked my dad, how many girls have you been with? My dad couldn't count. My dad said he couldn't count. He said he's like, man, a lot. Like a lot. And I was like, I see. Yeah. I see. Because my belief is he was a womanizer. I was a womanizer. But that all came from brokenness. But he couldn't deal. He didn't deal with it. He hasn't deal with it yet. But I'm the person that I'm dealing with it. I'm choosing not to run from responsibilities. I'm choosing not to go different places. I'm choosing to deal with it. Yeah, you gotta break generational curses. So if we could speak to anybody, speak to that one person, we don't say deal with it. There's certain things that we did it. Take responsibility for what you did. Yes, I messed up. Yes, I did this. Yes, I put myself through a whole bunch of crap I did not have to put myself through, but God seen fit to pull me out of it and to give me a lesson, to give me a testimony. Yeah. So a lot of stuff, just go through it. Get through it. Stop just laying in it and feeling bad for yourself. That ain't gonna get you nowhere. Get through it. God say he has you. He's there at all times. When you doing this and that, God is literally right there. He probably crying because he wants your soul back. He wants you to get to listen to him, but he's right there with you when you doing all type of stuff. He right there like, turn this way. Turn. He not giving up. He's not. He said that reckless love. Like that's one of my favorite songs. Like that's one of my favorite songs because it speak to me. You
Yeah,
know, speak deep to me. I'm like, really, really.
yeah. See, and I feel the exact same way, man. Cause like just looking at my life, like looking at my history, people look at me now. They like, oh, you such a good guy. You can't do this. You can't do that. But no, I was that dude. Like you probably didn't want to say nothing wrong to, cause I'm gonna let you know. Like I don't have no problem. And if you want to fight, we can fight. Like it just was that, and like that. I know that has nothing to do with addiction, but I'm saying that to reference how far God has brought me from. How far He's brought me from, like going from going from smoking every single day, trying to sleep with any woman that I can, to, like I said last time, trying to find anything sexual and anything I possibly can just to get some type of stimulation. Like I've come from that all the way to now, married, kids, don't have no desire to be with any woman other than my wife. Like that's a huge accomplishment. And sometimes, we look at these accomplishments and where God has brought us from, and we kind of take it for granted. And that's kind of, I feel like
Facts.
that's kind of what God is showing B, like not to
Yes.
take what you've been through for granted, because at any moment, like I could take my hands off you and you could be
Mm-hmm.
back.
Mm-hmm.
You could be back in that situation. I could allow things to come upon you, and you back desiring other women.
Mm-hmm.
You beefing with your wife, so now you back desiring other women, or now you going to smoke weed so you can try to take your mind off of the situation. But no, we are both in a position where we like, okay, I don't need that stupid stuff no more. I
Mm-mm.
don't need to sleep with a woman. I don't need to sleep with a woman other than my wife. I don't need to smoke any weed to make me feel okay. I don't feel depressed anymore. I don't feel any of that stuff. And it's crazy because a lot of people, something that I'm realizing too, like depression, you can be addicted to depression. Like the
Talk
thing
about it.
about it is, like, you get so comfortable
Yeah.
there. Just like you get comfortable smoking weed or drinking alcohol, you can get comfortable being depressed. And it's addiction. And when somebody try to snatch you out of it, you're like, no, but I feel this, but I feel that. But God is like, no, those aren't the feelings that you're supposed to have. Don't be led by those feelings that are coming to deceive you. The ones that are telling you nobody loves you. That reckless love that we was just talking about, that's what God is trying to reveal to you. But because of your addiction to that state of mind, you can't see it. So, man, it's just a lot, man. Like God is just so amazing as it relates to this situation, especially for me, because we say in the men's group all the time, like we used to be choking our chicken all the time.
Facts.
I was a chicken choking this dude in the
Man.
world.
Man. Where
Every
where where is it? Where is it? Where the
every chance I got, with the Vaseline, the Carry lotion, anything
anything.
I could use, nothing, anything I could use. I was,
Anything we could use.
man, but
Just to try to get some relief or whatever like that, some release, whatever like that. And it really after that you felt dumb, bro. I know countless times I felt dumb after, bro. Just dumb. I just look at myself like, really, bro? You a dummy.
nigga
Like
sitting here fantasizing about a woman that he ain't never gonna touch.
like sit here like just dumb, bro.
Yeah,
Just dumb.
and it's crazy because it went against my state of mind. Like, this is kind of stupid, but people always be like, "You been to the strip club?" I've been to the strip club a couple times, but I always tell people I don't like it because I can't touch. But at the same token, I'm watching a flick. I will never touch that woman.
Not even close to it.
I will never touch that woman. But I'm sitting here pleasuring myself behind watching that video. That's oxymoronic. Like it don't match. It don't add up. So addictions will definitely have you, again, looking stupid. And people, it's crazy because people may not even see it, but you see it.
Yeah.
You see it, which is probably worse than other people seeing it. Because you could sit there. I know for me, I think a lot. So when I recognize something in myself, I am constantly thinking about it. Like, bro, you really just did that? Why did you do that? I'm trying to find an answer for myself. I myself don't even have the answer to the questions that I'm asking. So
Sit here and be embarrassed.
Man.
Sit here and be embarrassed after like, all right, let me.
And I embarrass easy. Like anybody who know me will tell you, I get embarrassed quick. Quick. I get embarrassed so quick. So when I feel like I've done something stupid and I know God is watching me, I'll be like, okay, let me go. I feel like Adam. I feel like Adam and
Let me
Eve.
go hide.
Let me go hide.
Let me go grab something to
And
hide.
God be like, where are you?
Where are you?
Where are you?
Knowing where he was at, but seeing if he knew where he was at.
Because it's not a I've lost you. It's a where do you know where you are? Where do you know where you are? Do you know what state of mind that you're in right now? Do you know that you've fallen? Like that's what it is.
That is deep.
That's what it is. It's like God is he's asking you a question. For him, it's rhetorical, but you don't understand it because your frame of mind is okay. I'm handling this. I'm handling that. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And God is like, okay, where are you, son? You're not being the son that I created you to be. You're not being the daughter that I created you to be. You're so caught up in that addiction that you've lost who you are. You've lost God wants you to go back to the original intent. Pastor Al talk about it all the time.
All the time.
Original Adam.
The original.
Go back to the original intent. What did he create you for? Because the weed and all these addictions, that ain't it.
You attached yourself to it. He never attached you to it. He never said you need this. You need this to get by. God has given you everything that you need. He is the provider. He gave you everything that you need. It's all inside of you. Everything is inside of you. He already equipped you, but instead you're trying to attach yourself to things that you think pushes you further. But in a sense, it pushes you back. You know, it's since got you doing all type of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I did that the only reason why I did it because I was under the influence. The only reason why I did it was because I was under the influence. Like if I'm in my right mind, I wouldn't have did certain things. I wouldn't have tried to do certain things with girls, whatever. I would have been like, girl, you not even it. Why am I trying to bro, like it's just in that mind state. Sometimes you can think everything looks good in that mind state. When you so stuck into certain, when you so low, you think everything look good.
Your standards go into the dirt.
Man, good zero. Good zero. Now you doing, and then you after that you like, oh,
that's who that was.
Dang.
Be like, where your edges, girl? Where's your hair?
Where the light? You get to light like, oh, gotta go.
Listen, you feel like it's just like this. It's what's the movie? I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. I don't know how many of y'all seen this movie. Brandon, you seen that movie?
I don't think so.
No. Oh God.
I'm gonna get who in it?
Keenan Ivory Wayans, bro. You gotta watch it. It's a classic. But it's a scene in that movie. It's this woman. She was like the finest woman in the movie, and Keenan Ivory Wayans was trying to get her for the whole movie. So he finally gets her where he wants her to be, and she lay on the bed. Then she started taking everything off. She had a wig on. She had something on her mouth. She had like a mustache under it. She had one leg, one arm, bro. That joke was so terrible. But that's how you feel afterwards sometimes, like, cause your standards go so low that you just be doing with any and everything, like, especially when you drunk. Like,
man, I was just about to say that, bro.
You don't care.
I was just about to say that, bro. Tweaking.
You just be doing whatever, man.
Bro, I got one story and then we gonna wrap up. I got one story. Speaking of drinking. All right, so look, I was at Michigan State, right? I went on a trip to Michigan State. I ain't gonna put no names as far as people in it, whatever like that. But I went to Michigan State, right? So I get there, we get a whole bag of weed, whatever like that. They get drinks or whatever like that, and mostly drinks was okay. It's gonna be some women, so you know we gonna have some drinks for them, whatever like that. That's usually why men got drinks. I don't know. That's mostly why we was like, oh yeah, they probably gonna, you know, we wouldn't necessarily cater to drinking, but we was like, oh, you know, they gonna. So anyway, we smoking on the way there, and then we start drinking. We get to a house, whatever like that. We start drinking a little bit or whatever, and then we just start walking the block because it was like Halloween or something like that. So everybody having Halloween parties or whatever, and I'm going into random houses. You know how they had a little parties or whatever, and like in college, it's in college, so they have their little parties. I'm going to random houses and I'm talking to everything walking. I was literally like, "Hey, what's up?" Like everything walking. I was like, I wasn't worried about. I didn't want to fight. There's some people on tip. I'm not trying to fight nobody. I am trying to get. I'm trying to get some. You feel me? So
Get in between those.
the whole time I was just focused on getting girls, and I'm going to different parties, walking in different parties, turning up, whatever like that, and just walking on them. I got home, right? The next day, I got home and I had, first of all, woke up terrible. Whatever. I didn't get home till like 5 in the morning. I had to spend the night over one of my friend's house because I couldn't go home that late. Um, and then I didn't want to drink. I didn't want to drive, whatever like that. So I woke up feeling crappy, and I looked down. I got these shoes, these Olympic, I think. No, they were Oreo sixes. Disgusting. Mud everywhere. Mud all over them. They destroyed. And the bad part was I didn't know when I did it. I wasn't even thinking.
He said, I
So
forgot what happened.
even in that, it's a deeper, you don't value certain things when you're in that mind state. Because if I value those shoes. I love those shoes. But when you're in that mind state, you're not valuing the stuff that is important.
Yeah.
You're not valuing your well being. And it's a long story because it was more crazy stuff, but I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. But the whole point was, when you liquor is the devil, plain and
Yeah, it's
simple.
called spirits though.
Them
That's what's so funny about it.
facts, and it bring out all of them. So stay away, stay away from drugs, stay away from alcohol, stay away from all that. Only thing you need is God, and I ain't trying to be corny. I'm being real with
Yeah,
y'all.
100%, man.
So
Even if you think about it, I know you said we wrapping up, but just one more thing. Like,
go ahead, bro.
I know my dad loved us. I know he did. But that the feeling that he got from his addiction must have overpowered. His feelings for us. It had to. Just like when crackheads, they be they be strung out and they walk in the same blocks that their kids live on. So they walk in the same blocks so just to piggyback on what Brandon said, like, that addiction, it causes you to devalue
that is
everything
crazy.
that you hold true, everything that you hold dear. So
Walking the same block they kids live on,
literally, I've seen it.
and the kids don't even know they out there, and they don't realize they out there. Or they may realize they out there, but they so busy focus on they next hit, they next this, that they not focused on what's really important.
Yeah.
Your house is right there. You can actually be in the house with heat and all that, but instead you wander in the street. That is crazy.
Crazy. And then on top of that, you like, they got the signs. We'll work for food. We'll work for. You're not working for food. You're working for your next hit. But you would do whatever you got to do to get that thing. Like, have y'all ever met a? I don't know if y'all ever met a functioning alcoholic or a functioning crackhead, but they do that. They go to work just so that they can feed their addiction. It's the only reason why they got a job is just to go get money for that 8 ball or get money for that fifth. Like, that's the only reason for it. And it's scary to see people like that.
Man, that I find that more scary than somebody who is like, they're a crackhead, or they addicted to something, because the functioning, that means that, in a sense, I'm not even lie, my tolerance for weed was so high. Listen, I smoked 21 blunts in one day and was straight, like, and was okay, like, didn't die, didn't nothing, whatever like that. I was cool, like, I was up there, but I was smooth. It was 420, and me and my homies literally smoked 21 blunts the whole day. Like we literally was passing around, and I counted. I literally was like, my goal was try to get to a certain amount, which is dumb. That sounds so dumb to me now.
Insane.
But I was just like, oh yeah, you know, it's 420. I'm gonna try to get to a certain amount. But the point why I say that is our tolerance. For you to be a functioning alcoholic, functioning addict, your tolerance has to be extremely high because it's not messing you up. You're functioning. You're just fine. You know, you cool. Nobody knows.
These jokers be driving, man.
Nobody knows.
And everybody in danger. They blood alcohol level be they breathalyzer be like 0.999. You still out here driving and junk. That junk is crazy. You could kill somebody, man, but you don't care.
Don't care at all.
Don't care because that addiction is more important. But
selfish. So if we could say anything, don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. Deal with the stuff that you need to deal with. Stop running. And I feel like I just felt like whether that don't even have to be addiction, but stop running in general. Yeah. Whether that's running from your emotions, stop running because it's not going to get better. You avoiding things does not make it better. It makes it worse. Honestly, let's say I do something to my bro, right? And he feels some type of way, all right? But he don't say it or whatever like that. And then it just the next day, whatever, he don't say nothing. Now he start feeling a certain type of way, but it could have been addressed from the beginning. Yeah. You know, so now it became bitterness and now hatred, now resentment, all this stuff when it could have just got dealt with from the beginning. Right. So to say that, deal with it from the beginning. Deal with the emotions right then. Yeah. Don't sit here and suppress them. I know we've been conditioned to suppress the emotions, but it is only to kill us. I promise you. It is only to kill us from the inside out. From the inside out. And these vessels are the most important thing. They are the most important thing. Temples. These are the temples of the Holy Spirit. That's what they are meant to be. You know, and we meant to do a service, you know, well done, move on, you know. Thanks. So, like, if anything, we just wanted to just tell y'all certain stories that really that we dealt with, certain things that we dealt with, because these are our testimonies. These are things that we've been through, whatever like that. We told y'all certain things on part 1. We told y'all different things, but we didn't go into detail about certain stories that we didn't have dealing with addiction and certain ways of thinking and things like that were in story format. And we just wanted to do a part 2 and just be able to express them stories. You got anything to add, bro, or anything that you need to leave off with?
Along with dealing with stuff immediately, but also even if you didn't deal with it immediately, take the time to go back and still address situations. Don't matter how painful it is, don't matter how hard you may think it's going to be, you still need to deal with it because it's still affecting you, whether you realize it or not, man. You got to handle situations. You got to take care of that unfinished business, or else you're going to pay for it. At the end of the day, whether you pay for it today or down the road, you're gonna pay for it at some point in time because it's gonna eat you up. It's gonna eat you up. So, man, I'm just leave y'all with that, man. We love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Facts. Thank y'all for tuning in. We want to say that you guys can purchase merch. This Open Heart. This the merch today. Open Heart.
You see it.
What's your website, bro?
It's openheart.luxurybrand.net.
So go buy some merch, man. It ain't even we don't care about money. It's not about money. It's about service, ministry. We trying to move our ministries forward. That's what we trying to do. We need money to move forward, to get more stuff, to reach more people. And things like that. So just support us. You can go stream this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube will have the video podcast. You can buy my merch, thehopemedicine.com. You can buy all items. You can go on iTunes and get Bridging the Gap EP And that's the last
Fire.
thing that I did that's put out. And you can listen to that and allow for that to minister to you, because it's definitely our heart. We put our heart in all that, and that's what we are gonna always do. And we just love y'all. We just thank y'all, and thank y'all for tuning in, showing us love, like, share, subscribe, do all that. And
Peace.
we are out.